The world is very lucky to have you, and so am I. May the power protect you, always.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and whatever else is watching. My name is Nick, and I am playing Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie for the Game Boy, played on the Super Game Boy. As you can see by the nifty border. In the previous episode we defeated all the bosses. The final boss I defeated with the Red Ranger Rocky, and this was Lord Zedd. I defeated Goldar with Adam, and Mordant and the Tengu were defeated by Kimberly and Aisha respectively, and this guy I don't even want to talk about. Ivan Ooze, as you can see, is now available, so I will be taking him on with Tommy the White Ranger. As you can guess, because this is the 6th level, and well, the only ranger I haven't showed off. However, as you will see later on, I won't be doing this completely with Tommy, because this level is actually one huge ass boss gauntlet. It's just a big boss gauntlet to repeat all the bosses from before, and I will do them in the same order as in with I did the levels. That's how they will also appear. And so as here you have Mordant, and that's pretty much the entire level. You have a little normal section that you have to traverse, then a boss fight and another normal section. However, I said that I would primarily use Tommy the White Ranger, and that's because there are 2 boss fights that actually require jumping type rangers, and Tommy is a power type, and power types are not good for use against the Tengu and Goldar. Yeah, so I will be switching him off to go, well, to fight with another ranger. But this entire level is one giant boss gauntlet, and it's going to be, yeah, how do I put it? Boss gauntlets were pretty common for games back then, in the NES, Super NES, and Mega Man is one of the prime examples where they actually use that type. However, most of the time I don't really like boss gauntlets, especially, well, I can still tolerate them for older games like these, because they were limited by their storage capacity of the medium, the cartridge, and that was also the most prevalent reason to reuse bosses and to do a boss gauntlet and to reuse level parts. Yeah, as you will see, I will try to show you what it is to use a power type against Tengu. I will use the Ranger, but even though the Ranger does a lot more damage, avoiding his attacks down here is just impossible. And Tommy can't jump up there. As you can see, I am having the highest jump, and I am not getting on the platform on top of there, so I don't even have a safe spot. So I will, for each time he comes down and shoots those feathers, a power type gets hit. Considering how much damage he does more to me, and because I flinch he can get away, so I don't do any damage at all, I will have to use, I will die. Simple as that. So now I will switch over to other. The jump types are Aisha, and I thought it was Billy, but I was actually wrong in that, but Aisha. However, I pick Kimberly, because Kimberly is the one I used in the level. Simple as that. I just went back to Kimberly. I could have picked Ayesha or Adam and be fine with that. But to continue on about boss gauntlets, in older games I can understand it. Also, a little note: you will after this fight you will see me switch to Tommy again, but that is because I purposely died. Because I said I would do this level mostly with Tommy. And you will see me switch Rangers up once more. But boss gauntlets in all games I can understand that why they do it, because of the limited space. In newer games I think no. No matter if they even try to emulate the older style, even with the limited storage capacity and everything, no, boss gauntlets are lazy. Sorry, but you have the longest storage capacity. If you really want to artificially lengthen your game, do that with new stuff, or even swap it out pallets, give them a slightly altered attack pattern, give them something new to work with. If you really want to reuse assets. Now you will see me switch up Ranger again, but that's for later. So yeah, I don't really like it in these in newer games. What's going optional? Oh yeah, here I figured out something quite nifty, which could have saved me from a lot of trouble early on. As you can see, there was a flamethrower up there. It no longer is there. This game apparently has the same flaw as the previous Mighty Morphin Power Ranger game. Once an enemy spawns and it has no respawn factor, if you get them out of view by going back, it disappears. Yeah, we've got to fight these guys as well. And as you can see, I can still not change back into a Ranger. And the next one I will have to change up as well. Ah well. But, well, mandatory boss fight gauntlets I don't like. Not in new games. They are lazy, they are... It's just as if the developers gave up on developing the game and needed to artificially lengthen it because their testing audience said, hey, your game is too short. Do something about it. Optional boss gauntlets, on the other hand, I really like. I think optional boss gauntlets are a good idea as an addition to your game. Because then you can repeat, well, the boss fights that you want. They add something extra, but they are optional. Oh yeah. I will I leave this in. I figured out in this section, suddenly came to apparent that my controller starts failing. At least the button that I use for jumping failed miserably. Either that or my timing was off. But that was just a small portion, perhaps maybe 5% of the number of times that I actually fell into a hole in this section. Even thinking about it, I probably spent an hour just getting over there. And it was edited down to a few seconds. How nice! I really need to get a new controller. You will see I have Adam here as well. I used Adam for his fight against Golda. I swapped out because I need to stand up here. Because Golda down there is really fast, and because I was in ninjatic form, he hits 2 times or even 3 times as hard as he would do against the ranger. Fun times! That was really awesome. Yeah. But optional boss, to continue on, my optional boss fights I think are a true asset to a game. They can, because it allows you to replay, because boss fights should be one of the toughest challenges, and most often because they are such a singularity. Yeah, you could see that was just a single hit. That's how much die, and that was just one hit and not a combo. You will see the combo later on. Really, it hurts. But optional boss gauntlets, yeah, like that. That's the combo hit. Half a bar and life bar gone. But optional boss gauntlets are actually an asset because you can replay memories. They are unique, they are memorable, they should be memorable. So I think in that case, optional boss fights can actually add something to your game. However, there are also people that don't like them, and that's why. And maybe even choose which boss you can fight, or all of them, just a survival mode. But it is optional. It doesn't stand in the way of who you want getting to the end. And thus, it doesn't stand in the way of finishing the game. Mandatory boss fights are actually just a pain in the ass. There are several games that I did not finish because of these mandatory boss fights. Then there are also games that I didn't finish because there were bosses that I just couldn't overcome, even by cheating, like the Yellow Devil. I don't even want to think about that one. However, that's that. So, yeah. Optional mandatory boss fights, not good. Optional boss fights, awesome. Best optional boss fights, or boss gauntlet even. I think Skyward Sword. Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, because you could get out of it whenever you wanted. You could choose with whom you start, and you got nifty prizes out of that. A nice shield and a piece of art. That was a good boss fight. Oh yeah. For those observant, you saw that my power bar was low again and my score has been down. Yeah, I died a couple of times at Lord Zedd as well. He's a pain in my rear end. Pain in the tuchus, as it is. Man. That wasn't fun. Oh yeah, actually, yeah, it was. Because it gave a challenge, but as you can see, I did all boss fights as ninjetti. And this area, I was actually kind of sweating. Because this area is jumping using a button that does not respond all too well on my controller at this moment. And I got through this unscathed. However, once I got through this, yeah, I made the mistake of running into putties. Just look. Bye! Bye! That was me dying. However, this is also the right before Ivan Ooze. These are the buddies that allow you to transform into a ranger. But this is where I am going to cut off this video. I hope you enjoyed it. May I invite you to see the next video when it comes up, because then I will take on Ivan Ooze with the right ranger. And like Zordon has always said, may the power protect you, always.